Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Friday Eve. I hope your weekend is off to a great start. Listen, I don't typically upload candle content on Fridays, but I'm making an exception and just popping this video randomly into the lineup here because I'm kind of afraid that this is one of the next Halloween scents that is going to be selling out. Skull Sonnet is honestly such a beautiful new fragrance from Kringle, and I know I'm not the only one that loves it. My friend Katie also really enjoys this one, and I think a lot more people are starting to catch on to it. So I wanted to go ahead and share my thoughts with you before this one sells out. I just reviewed Haunted Hollows, and unfortunately my review came a little bit too late for that one. That was another one of the new releases from the Kringle classic black jars that they do for Halloween that I also really happen to enjoy. So before this one goes the way of the dodo for this year, because they're not going to be pouring any more of these once they sell out. You may, however, still see some of the candles that they held back in terms of some stock that they could use for sending replacements if someone receives a broken candle or two. So Haunted Hollows could still pop back onto the website, but you're gonna have to probably be one of those people who checks quite frequently. We all know that the email system that Kringle uses just really is not super efficient, and a lot of times it does not work. So if you are really wanting Haunted Hollows, I would suggest just checking back in on the website over the next week or so. I assume most of the orders have gone out for these Kringle classic black jars from the initial release. So as long as people are not getting broken candles, there will still be a couple handfuls that, they have on hand that they could pop onto the website, unless they just decide to, put them in store. I don't know if that is something that they would also consider, but typically in the past, this is what we have seen with Kringle. So prior to Skull Sonnet selling out, I really want to share my in-depth review of this one because, listen, this fragrance is stunning, you guys. Is it a Halloween scent? I do think it kind of falls within that dark, Halloween kind of vibe, because it is a very deep, rich, interesting, darker type of fragrance. And so I do think it lends itself quite nicely to Halloween. But also, I could see this being a really beautiful bedroom scent for me year round. This fragrance it's a little bit perfumey, but it's perfection. Listen, I can't say enough good things about it. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you're at all interested in this one, I'll have it linked down below at Kringle, and you can use my discount code Melanie15. That'll save you at least 15% on these new Halloween candles. So anyway, use that if you are so inclined, or rewards points as well. You can apply those to the Halloween candles too. So, all right, Skull Sonnet. Let's read the scent description. The intriguing essence of rich, spirited bourbon splashed against a ghastly accord of polished woods ties with aged tobacco and dark suede. The top notes are bourbon and tobacco. The mid notes are sandalwood and suede, and the base is amber and oak. Okay, so bourbon. I want to address the bourbon right away. Honestly, this does not give me a boozy candle vibe. Kringle is capable of doing a boozy scent. I don't know if you guys remember Manhattan, but that quite potent in terms of really, it smelled like you were sticking your nose into an actual Manhattan cocktail. Quite booze forward, if you will. I'm not getting any of this bourbon here. In fact, I went into Craig's little liquor stash that he has. He has a lot of bourbon, he has a lot of whiskey. he's not actually a big consumer of it, but a lot of his like customers and a lot of his vendors around the holidays will just gift him just a ton of this like really nice bourbon and whiskey, and you know, like he's always very appreciative, but he brings it home and I'm just like, we don't need any more of this. We should really just start like gifting it out to other people at this point. But anyway, I stuck my nose into a couple of the bourbons that he has just to, you know, remind myself of what that note really smells like. And I just don't get it here. I don't smell the bourbon, but what I do smell is the oak that the bourbon was very likely aged in, if that makes sense. So there is a really beautiful oak woody note that is a part of this fragrance, and it's like perfectly done. It skips the booze, but it gives you all of the richness and the complexity of the actual bourbon. But it just takes away that like alcohol-y type of note that honestly my nose it just doesn't enjoy it. So happy to report that to my nose there is no bourbon. If that bums you out, I'm really sorry. Tobacco. Okay. So the tobacco here does not really smell like a Cuban cigar tobacco. It actually smells more like a pipe tobacco. And I actually think that I prefer that. The pipe tobacco just smells a little bit smoother to my nose. It's not quite as harsh as cigar smoke or tobacco is, if that makes sense. I really like that tobacco note, and it definitely lends itself to that like dark, that whole dark academia vibe that this fragrance gives you. The suede, okay, let's discuss the suede, because I think the suede actually comes across as more of like an aged leather. My mom has leather couches at her house, and they have this they're older leather as well. So when leather starts to really like break in and become a little bit softer and more worn, it has this unique, almost, I would say, slightly smoky but deep, rich leather note. And I totally smell that in here, and I love it. Again, it takes me back to this reminding me of walking into a really beautiful old mahogany shelf lined library with comfy leather chairs. Someone maybe has smoked a pipe in the corner while reading a book or something. That, by the way, that like tobacco pipe type smoke, it's not overwhelming. It's not like the most prominent note here, but it's definitely noticeable. But when it combines with that wood and that leather note, ooh, it's a stunner, you guys. Now, I think where we are getting the perfuminess from this one is definitely from that beautiful, gorgeous, resinous amber that's in here, and it's a quite perfumey amber note. Think something that you would smell in a very high-end luxury perfume. That type of amber note is what you smell in here, and I think that's why this appeals to me. I've said this before, but I really think that this particular fragrance would be stunning in a perfume format. I think this could actually be a gorgeous like unisex type fragrance. I believe that Katie compared this to Maison Margiela. Is it Whispers in the Library? I think it was that one. But yeah, like it's just, this is pretty. And if Kringle were to ever get into the body care or perfume game, this is one of those scents, like I would lobby hard to have them put this one in either a cologne or a perfume, or just bottle it somewhere somehow. Make it cruelty free, because Maison Margiela is unfortunately not, but this would be a stunning perfumey scent. And I think that's why I like this. Listen, my perfume game is strong. I wear fragrance every single day. And this one here is just one that I would love to actually be able to wear during the fall and the winter. It's a lovely, beautiful, resinous amber with hints of tobacco and leather and oak. And it's just a stunner, you guys. Listen, even if this is not in your usual wheelhouse, I think this one is worth a try. I think it has kind of a good Halloween type label that, you know, it matches the scent, I think. But even if they kept this and put like a different type of label on it, I think it could just be a great year-round fragrance for them. I really hope to see this one return next year, so keep buying it. And hopefully that then lets Kringle know that this is one of those scents that we would all like to see return. But if you want to get your hands on it, you know, maybe start considering looking at it and thinking about picking it up. I do anticipate that at some point in the near future, this one will sell out. And I will definitely applaud that sellout because, like I said, I want to see this one return. And if that's what's needed to keep this in the lineup, then I'll be rooting for that. But I hope that if you're interested in it, that you're able to get your hands on it first. I know these Halloween candles are a little bit more expensive, and if you're only thinking of investing in a couple, this would be one of the ones that I would encourage you to check out. You know, especially if you're not looking for like the super creepy type of fragrances like the 6 Feet Under or the Carnage, which, by the way, I will also be reviewing soon. I've been burning those quite diligently, not in the house. I've been burning them mostly in the backyard, but if you are looking for creepy Halloween, I would say go for those two for sure. But this one here, bravo Kringle team on the creation of this scent. Please keep it around, and I cannot wait to see it return. So 2 big fat thumbs up. This on the fragrance overall. The strength and throw is solid. I think this one is actually one of the more potent Kringle fragrances that I've smelled. So the strength of this, I would put probably at pretty close to an 8. It's not quite there, and honestly, if you are looking for more out of this one, I would recommend a candle sleeve that does amp it up to about an 8, or pop it in a hurricane. The throw is right around a 7. It certainly fills a good chunk of the downstairs of my house, but not the entirety. And the performance, listen, it's pretty flawless. This has been burning like a champ. I will give you guys an overhead shot. I feel like I've been forgetting to do that in my last few videos, so forgive me for that, but let's take a look. You can see this is not even completely pulled out. I just lit this prior to filming this video here, and I can already smell this around the bulk of the downstairs here. It's just so pretty, you guys. So burn quality, great. The wicks, I trim them a little bit between each burn. I don't take off too much. There's no sooting, there's no discoloration. It's that clean, classic soy burn. No complaints at all. I would encourage them to maybe think about turning this one into a 4-wick. I would take even more from this one, even though it's a little bit more perfumey. I would even appreciate more strength and throw. It's just so good. Listen, I love this scent. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased here. So at any rate, let me know if you got this one and what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Let me know if you're interested in this one and, you know, kind of what you think about the fragrance notes. And I really appreciate you guys being here today. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on Sunday for some more fall and Halloween candle reviews. And don't forget that the weekly home fragrance roundup is going up tomorrow on Saturday. And I'll see you guys in that one. Take care. Toodaloo.